When I hear you rephrase it that way and talk about it, what comes up for me is the idea that I may value something, but I haven't followed through with that value in my actions. And when you say, I want to value my family, I want to value rigorous honesty, I want to value integrity, it doesn't mean that I may not hold that as a value that I want to lean into. It means I don't know, and I struggle to lean in and follow that value in my daily interactions. I struggle to follow that value when it's hard to hold on to that value in the moment.
And it can be vague too. So I can say, I want to be healthy. Yeah, that's great. What does that mean? So in treatment plans, right, we have a goal, then we have objectives, like how are we going to meet that goal? So I'm thinking that could be applied to values. If I have a value of wanting to be honest, I think it's important to, as I'm thinking this through, to specifically say, how am I being honest? How do I incorporate honesty into my life on a daily basis? Do I need to figure out what that means? Do I need to be accountable? Do I need to, what does that look like?
And I guess maybe that follow through shows how much I actually want it. Because there's that level of great, say you want it, but if you're not doing any action, can you honestly say that you want it? I actually really like that distinction because, and I think what you said, Wendy, was really important, the humility to say, yeah, it sounds much better to say I value family than to say I value family. That doesn't sound as good. And
Mm.
what we know about addiction, especially sex addiction, is most, if I don't know, maybe all, there's a split between how I want to be seen, how I want you to see me versus how what the full truth is underneath that. So the public image, the facade looks a lot different than what's happening under the surface. So that actually takes some level of humility and self-awareness to say, I want to present this pretty picture of who I am, but maybe it's not so pretty. And every partner knows that, obviously, but the addict has to come to terms with that and say, yeah, my actions haven't shown that I value our relationship, that I value our family, and I have to come to terms with that. And I want to, but I can't. I love that idea of the humility to say, I want to work on this, and can I work on it? And what am I doing to actually work on that? I think that's helpful for the partner to know too.
It's interesting because through our listserv today, there was a question one of our CSATs asked, does somebody have a better template for a recovery plan other than the three circles and the cycle of addiction? And I was like, wow, that's a really interesting question. Like, why isn't that enough? Why wouldn't those tools be enough? And it's interesting because what we're talking about today could be part of that. Like a recovery plan, you can say, I'm going to go to 12 meetings a week and I'm going to do all these things. But what's the motivation behind it? Just to stay sober
Or to look good, like you're doing all the
or to
things,
look good that you're doing all these things? Check, check, check. I'm starting to think that getting sober, initial sobriety, is this deeper look at why am I getting sober? Like,
hmm.
what's the motivation to stop this behavior?